sealant. This is before we're starting. You can see the coating's wearing off. It's pretty much all the way across. Alright, so the first thing we got to do, of course, is we're going to use painter's tape, tape off the lines, and then take off all the covers, and then we'll get some more footage. Painter's tape, but we've got all the vents off. We went through and cleaned it twice and scrubbed it, so we should have all the dirt off. We're also going to be doing down on the sides. So we got a good amount we need to do. What we had to do is, since the motorhome has curved sides, we've been using paint brushes to paint along the edge of the bus. And what we're going to do next is we're going to then use just paint rollers to fill it in. This is kind of why we didn't use the painter's tape, because we really couldn't have gotten it down on the edge there. So what we've done is and now we're going to get the rollers up here, roll out a bunch of it, and see if we can't get bigger spaces out quicker. And we've noticed that if you're using paint brushes, do not feel shocked if it feels like you're painting on Elmer's glue, because it's very much like that. It's like painting on very thick Elmer's glue. But it goes on very well. When you get it spread, it kind of evens itself out. And we're hoping not too much from the tree falls into it before we get it done. This is only just a couple of minutes. It's going on real good with the rollers. We're just hoping that we can get it done and not get too much stuff in the coating. And you can already see, but yeah, from our lovely tree. But definitely going on quicker. Almost about half of it done. We're about to do the other difference from when we started. It's nice and shiny. Didn't use nearly as much as I thought we have. We got the 5 gallon. It's 36 feet long. But, well, we got the 5 gallon. And I thought we were going to need 6 gallons, but we're down to the last little corner. And then it'll be finished. And then we'll get some more, come back up here like after it's cured, and we'll see what it's like. But it's looking a lot better than it was already. You can see the last sections. Gonna paint myself off the roof. Looks pretty good, except for all the stuff that fell off the tree. That's, see, that's not the paint, that's the tree. But it looks pretty good. We ended up with about 2 gallons left, even with a 36-foot motorhome. Makes me wonder if it's not thick enough. But they told us another lovely little tip, that if you keep it below 50 degrees, if you're going to be doing this, a good idea might be to have like a refrigerator or even a chest freezer that you can put the stuff in after you mix it. Because then you can wait for the coat to completely solidify, and then after it solidifies, you could come back up here and still have more paint to put down. They say possibly to use a squeegee. I'm really seeing that rollers, unless you really lay it on thick, you'll end up with extras though. You see though, with the exception of the stuff from the tree, this is the second day after. It's turned out pretty good. Can't really see the original problems at all. A small roller for the sides, if you've got a curved roof, is probably about the only thing I would suggest. If you see little spots, that's just because of the fact that we are under this tree, so after we coated it, the wind came by and blew stuff down. We haven't brushed it or anything to try to see if, but it will come right off if we just take a rag. But we ended up doing a second coat and it worked really well. My suggestion is, if you're doing it the first time, a squeegee is really the best bet from what I'm seeing. If you've got a curved roof like ours, I'd suggest doing the top and getting an extra gallon can to come back by and do the curved edges later. But definitely you don't have to worry about using it sparingly. We used almost all of our 5-gallon bucket to do the whole thing, and there are some spots that it could be a little thicker, but we do have a complete covering. And see, as I said, you can see that you just brush it off and it's clean. So it's not that that's anything to do with the coating, that's just this tree we have here. So we're actually very pleased with how it turned out. Looks like all of our vents are going to have better sealing around them. We're now just going to kind of clean up our vents and put them back on here. And they did say that the trick that you can use if you end up having extra in a big pail is, I think I said this earlier, making sure you have a big freezer or something like that, like a chest freezer or space in a refrigerator, if you end up having extras. But like they suggest, you should always do just one coat. We did 2, it turned out just fine, but twice the work. But we're very happy with how it turned out. We've already noticed that during rain we actually don't have as much sound on the inside. We haven't seen as much to do with the temperature differences yet, and it of course looks vastly better than it did before.